So the 24-70 RF lens, is it worth getting? Let's talk about it. The 24-70 RF lens has been living on this body now for the last maybe about 2.5 months, and I've really had a proper chance to really test it out properly and tell you kind of my thoughts on why I absolutely love this lens. Before using this lens, I had the RF 24-105, which honestly, guys, is an absolutely fantastic lens for the price where you can get it. 1500 new, about $1,100 to $1,000 used in the Australian market. It's incredibly priced. The only thing that I didn't like about it for me at the time was that it was an f4. Now 24-105 has a very large range, and especially if you're doing a lot of travel videos or stuff like that, this lens is going to be honestly the perfect companion lens because it also doesn't weigh too much. Now I'm currently shooting on the Canon EOS R, and I absolutely love this setup that I currently have. The 24-70 RF is obviously an f2.8 constant aperture, and it has been serving me fantastically well. In terms of using it for portraits and video work, it has been just like as close as a perfect lens can be. It has honestly been amazing. The autofocus is really quiet. It's an amazing lens. It's not too heavy either. It's about 900 grams. And I was originally considering the 28-70 f2, which is an incredible lens, but the weight of that lens and the fact that it didn't have in-body stabilization really kind of deterred me away from that lens. I had a chance to use it. Thank you, Michael, a good mate that actually let me use the lens and try it out. I had a chance to try it, but like I said, because the Canon EOS R also doesn't have in-body stabilization, it didn't make sense for me to get that because I don't do just photography, I also do video work, and having that some form of stabilization is important. Now, while the EOS R has digital stabilization and it works relatively well, it always helps to have an additional stabilization, as this lens does, which provides, I believe, 5 stops of stabilization. Now I'm going to provide some photos so you guys can see and have a look at what this lens is capable of. It really is an amazing lens, and I highly recommend it. Now, it is relatively expensive. Trying to remember how much it is. It's upwards of $3,000, that's for sure. It's about $3,400. I'll put the correct price if I do have the price wrong, but it is an expensive lens. Now, in terms of the RF lenses, they are relatively very expensive lenses. Obviously, you're getting the highest quality. These are L series lenses, and if you do have an R-type body like the R5, the R6, or the R, the RF way is the way I'm going at the very least. I've pretty much sold all my lenses now, and this is the only lens that lives on the body at the moment, and I love it. My next lens will probably be the 70-200 to have that reach, and eventually the 15-35 so I can get the holy grail. But I probably most likely will be sticking to RF lenses for the near future. They're lighter, they're a lot more better quality in my opinion, and I like that they're native lenses for the camera. I prefer that. So yeah, I recently sold I had my Sigma 85mm f1.4, which was an incredible lens as well, but I sold that. I had the 35mm RF, which personally I didn't like. I know a lot of people may like it and whatnot, but for me, it just wasn't up there in terms of quality, and as I said, I replaced it with the 24-70 now, which is just my go-to lens. f2.8 is plenty of aperture for me, like in terms of bokeh. It is enough for the moment, and eventually I will go towards the 70-200. So do I recommend this lens? I absolutely highly recommend this lens. This lens is incredible. If you can afford it, I really, really recommend it. Now, if you can't afford this lens, guys, I do really recommend the 24-105, and if you actually have the 24-105 right now and you don't have the money for this lens, stick with it. Honestly, it's an incredible lens, and sure, you lose one stop of light, but if you're using it during the day for the most part, or if you light and if you can light it up well enough that it's not too underexposed, it really is an incredible lens, and I would have kept it, but I do night shoots and whatnot, so having the f2.8 was really important for me, and I didn't necessarily need that extra reach of 105. So for me, this lens has been incredible. I honestly give it like a 5 out of 5. Like, it's as close to a perfect lens that a lens can be. The autofocus, as I said, is impeccably quiet, as it is on the 24-105. It's a high quality lens, and I'm absolutely in love with it, and I can't recommend that enough. Now I'm going to leave you guys with a little video and some extra little clips that I've done with this lens, and I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.